Radio. And right now we have an opportunity to talk with the director of the Mason County Economic Development Council. It's Lynn Longan. Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning.
How was your weekend? Welcome.
It was good.
Nice weekend.
It was good, yeah.
A lot of people are out and about recreating, and that spurs economic development. But another story that we had heard is that for the month of July, the state of Washington brought in a bunch of money from the marijuana industry.
They did. It was brought to my attention last week before, and I thought maybe we should talk about it a little bit. I was blown away by the numbers.
It's amazing numbers, and again, we're all sort of feeling this thing out. Should we talk about it? Do we not talk about it? But it's here.
Right.
It was voted on by a majority of the people in Mason County.
It is.
And it's raising some money.
And that's what I'm mostly interested in.
Yeah.
And is it creating jobs the way they said it was? And is it bringing in the local tax money? And it looks to me like it is. So
looking at just some, so they kind of started, we're looking at 502data.com, which is a pretty good website that breaks all this down.
Right. It breaks it down by year. It breaks it down. You can even click on further in to break it down by month.
Yeah.
You can break it down by the company, by the processor, or the retailer.
There are on this list about 5 or 6 retailers, and in Shelton, TJ's is at the most, and they have a tax paid of almost a little over $750,000.
Right. They haven't been open that long.
And they haven't been open that long.
No.
What are some other things here that really kind of brought your eyes and go, wow, this is a lot?
Well, I didn't realize how many processors we have. There are 23 processors listed here. That's a significant number. And processors, each one of them, I mean, I would hate to guess at how many employees, but depending on the size, it could be a significant number of employees.
I would say so.
Right.
And the processors are the ones that take the scissors, from what I've gathered, and they kind of trim the buds up and move them on to the next stages. Is that right?
And that's part of it. I know. Excuse me. I know some of the larger ones, they're starting to get into the medical research, and they're also getting into edibles. So when you walk in, I was explaining to a friend this weekend, when you walk into a huge processor like M&R up at the port, the things they're doing, it looks like you're going into a science lab. There's beakers and, all of that stuff, the research part of it. It's really interesting. It's
the background, too, from the guys. We've had a number of them on over the couple years, and their backgrounds, it's not kind of the pigeonholed, it's just some Uncle Terry growing pot and his... No, these are like doctorate people with doctorates and massive amounts of experience.
And they're using some of this for, federal research into medical devices, or not devices, but medical cures and causes. And
to date, total marijuana excise tax here in the county, $2.3 million, and it's about $75 a person is kind of what. So that means when you go into a retailer, that's the average amount spent, I guess.
Yes. Well, and keep in mind, in the beginning, they were charging excise tax to the processors and growers. Also. They had to, figure that out in legislature. So in the beginning, it was like they were getting double, triple tax. They've figured that out since then.
Do you know, or have you ever seen any documentation? I'm always wondering how this kind of sets up against other sin taxes, like the liquor tax for the county. Remember when we went to privatize liquor here, and people were going on both sides of the issue there. But I don't remember a real comprehensive website that came out to break these numbers down.
No, I don't know of one. I'd be really interested to find out if there is one. I've often wondered myself, and I don't know, not on a professional way, but on a personal way, I look at those sin taxes and I think what I've seen is they start charging them and they put them for what they're supposed to go for. And then after time, history and we forget what they were supposed to be for. And pretty soon they're just going into the general fund. And
it really is
which is too bad.
Yeah, because they have been, and when they were written, the laws were written, they were scheduled to go to specific things to help out communities or whatever,
The
schools.
cigarettes, for example, it was supposed to go to education and keeping, people the stop smoking or don't start smoking campaigns.
Yeah, and it does. It all kind of ends up somehow magically in the general fund.
Right.
It is really interesting, and I can only imagine retailers, I mean, they probably have, I don't know, 10 people working at least to fill these shifts.
Right.
And then the processors, these are almost full 24-hour-a-day jobs in some cases. They're getting to that point. So this is a big deal for Mason County.
And then, the other ones, so like the processors, they need more security than others do. So we have a new security company that's started up here in Shelton, here in Mason County, and they're growing really fast. I've been meeting with them. And they're growing really fast. We're trying to help them figure out and plan for that growth.
Yeah, and that's just one of the trickle-out economies that come from this. Are you hearing of any other businesses that started because they knew there was a lot of folks in this industry?
That's the only one I've heard of so far. It doesn't mean it's not happening.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that we know everything that's going on. We don't, but if someone out there listening knows, they can give me a call and then I'll know.
Well, I mean, at least for restaurants or stuff that have had to stay open.
Right.
I remember, I know that the Ritz, they had to make some changes when the mill shut down, and who knows with some of these newer ones. So very cool stuff. 502data.com is a website where you can break it down throughout the whole state and see where the taxes are coming in and where they're going. Pretty cool stuff. What else is the EDC working on?
Well, we're having our mid-year retreat. My board is Wednesday. Okay. And I'm really looking forward to that because we're actually looking at a lot of different things where the direction of the EDC, where do we want to focus now that we've done the roundtables and the industries and stuff, which there's still a lot of work going on, but where does my board really want the EDC to focus and take our organization?
Okay. Is that available for citizens to learn more about that?
Well, this one's just my board meetings to go over with them to figure out what direction they want to go in. I have a board of 20 members.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good board. We have county, we have city, we have both of the public utilities, we have the tribes, Green Diamond, our largest employers are there. We have a really good, the ports.
Oh, sure. So you do
a good variety. We touch on, we try to get as many people in there, the banking industry, and 20 members.
That is a large board.
And they are community leaders, and so...
So they know what's going on.
They do. They do. So, we'll work that out, and we'll figure out what direction they want me to go in, and then from that, we'll put it out there. In fact, I'll come and talk to you guys about it. And we'll put it out there. This is the direction we're headed.
Very good. Lynn Longan, Director of the Mason County Economic Development Council. You can choose mason.com is the website. Also can get great information on the social media. Well, Lynn, have a great week this week, and we'll talk and catch up next Monday.
You too.
Thank you. It's 8:48 now at iFiber One News Radio. Science Fantastic with Professor